Hi, everybody. Welcome to Light Language Guided Messages and the Fountain Work with myself. I'm Darla Williams, and I'm grateful that you all are here. Joe is going to start us off with some sound bowls and just clearing our chakras, our area. Just go ahead and tune in because it is a beautiful sound. I'm going to go ahead and just jump right on into the light language and just be ready for it to start clearing. If you have any resistances, please let me know. If you feel anything in any spaces from the crown chakra through the root, anywhere, let me know during the time when we're doing guided meditations, just because if there's anything that needs to be released, we may be able to do it through sound. So yeah. Iane, iane, ah, iashiane, iana, anashane, ah, iana, iana, iana. Yane Ishiana Yana Yane Ishiana Shane Yana Shana Shane Yana 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 Shane Yashane Ya Yashane Ya Yashane Thank you. Thank you. I ask for the spirit guides to come in. I ask for the direction. I ask to be a conduit to be used appropriately. That it be Source's will to be done and the guided messages to be direct from Source to those it needs to flow to. I thank you. I thank you in advance for all that happens in this container space. Does anyone feel that they have any blockages today?
No, I don't. But I want to say your light language is so beautiful. Oh, God.
My son, when he was little, he used to sit wherever I was and he would fall asleep listening to me in light language when it was happening. And for a long time, it was my prayer because I felt like something was constantly trying to interfere with what I was praying out. And so I started using the light language because I realized that Holy Spirit was bubbling out of me. And I started with just these weird sounds and I was like, what in the world? And then I had gotten the infilling of the Holy Spirit and was like splaying out for 3 days, like out for 3 days. Like I sounded drunk, giggling and laughing and like jubilee, just everywhere. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And I was trying to tell everybody and they were like, I think you're drunk. I was like, no, seriously. I had been infilled with the Spirit in such a way that it just began to pour out of me. That happened back in 2003, 2004 in my life. So I've been speaking light language for a very long time. Now, what I find is funny is, the speaking of the Holy Spirit, if we really want to get technical about the Holy Spirit, when was the infilling of the Holy Spirit? Was in the upper room. It was with the 12 disciples. It was after the death, the burial, the resurrection. It was when he came back. It was so that he could actually deposit it into us, that spirit. Now, if my spirit pulled up out of me right this very second, what would happen to my body? It would expire. If the filling of the Holy Spirit is the only life source that keeps us alive, then there's no separation between us and Christ. And we're all infilled with that. Mm-hmm. So that's what makes us the oneness with God. That's how in the beginning of the foundations of creation and everything was built. Now, apparently this is the message that needed to come out. I'm just flowing with it. But in the beginning, it states, that we were made, men and women alike were made in his image and likeness. And if that's the case, and in the beginning was God, and with God was the word that was spoken. If you look later, when Jesus had been around, what was said, the word was with God. So we were all created, formed, and fashioned in the beginning, every single one of us, all males, all women. So it didn't matter when, we were all created at one time, but we all have a plan and a purpose. And in that timeline is where we all are. And that's why we're all here gathered today, because now it's that time of bringing in so much more and bringing the collective oneness together. So
nice. Very nicely said.
So, anybody that comes into my space, it doesn't matter what religious sector you come from, what faith you believe in. This is an open space for everyone to be loved. Love is the only key to success, to unity. And the only thing we're all called to is to love one another. And if we all do that, then nobody is going to step out of those areas and into those things that we consider good or bad or indifferent. from our natural carnal mind, it says, oh, that's bad because of our opinion, our judgment, the way it makes us feel, or whatever. Energy is the equivalent of emotion. That's all it is. It is emotion. Energy is. So when you look at the charts, they talk about the spiral. Are you spiraling up? Are you spiraling down? Where do you stand on the grid? Or do you feel like you're at the end of the world and you're hanging on by the thread and you wish you could die? This is real feelings that everybody feels every single day. And there are others who are sitting up at the top who've done all their work and they've ascended into that higher spiral where they're sitting in love, where they're sitting in those good things. The two cannot live in the same house. And that's why we find ourselves constantly in turmoil with others, because we're not on the same energetic wavelength. So when the energy comes out and I'm projecting love, if somebody else is upset, they're going to project agitation, irritation, anger, frustration, all of those other lower vibrational experiences, and the two cannot meet. They are like magnets turned against each other and creating a resistance. So if I flip the magnets around, they're going to come smack together. So if love meets love, they connect. If anger meets anger, that's where the violence happens. That's why they connect. Doesn't matter. But if the two are opposite, you've got one pulling in while the other one is trying to pull away. It just depends on how those magnets are held. How are we responding in our energy levels? How are we reacting in every situation? The only ones that can control that is ourselves. So when we tap into ourselves and we know that we're the only one that can choose, that changes the dynamics of how we interact with everyone around us. Why that needed to be delivered? I don't know. Somebody needs to hear that today. So that's where I am. I am going to ask, does anyone have any specific questions for the guided messages today?
Go ahead, Crystal.
Oh boy. I was thinking on my drive home that I'm whatever needs to be provided to me, what message I need to hear, I am open to receive that message.
If you're open for the universe, source, angels, guides, ancestors, or anything to tap in today for you. Before I start getting too far into that, I'm going to go ahead and ask around for everyone else's questions, because it'll be easier for me to navigate through them with the questions already in front of me, because then I can move to and allow whatever's ready to step in to step in. So, well, Laura, are you
Okay,
ready?
I know, I'm trying to think. Okay. What do I need to focus on?
Okay.
Kind of similar with
And
everybody.
Joe.
So I'm kind of similar to everyone, just kind of like, what do I need to know now? Like, kind of like what would best help me to move forward from this space and time.
So all very open. Everyone in this group is very open and ready to receive. I'm going to start with Crystal. Yashana. I keep seeing flashes of water, a waterfall, a space. Do you need to take a trip? Do you need to travel? Do you need a vacation? She's like, but I do have a space that you visit that has a waterfall. If not, then the fountain is asking to be read.
Okay, so I don't have a specific waterfall, but the creek that I go to has there's a nice flow to it where I do sit down by the creek and just like take in all the sounds and nature and everything around me. But it's not a waterfall.
So you do go out to the water and
Water calls me. Yeah, water is something that it resonates with me. It's like a peace. It just brings peace, calmness.
so I'm gonna go with a fountain. I'm gonna go for your card read.
Mhm.
I use the fountain tarot because I do the fountain. This tarot deck like jumped out at Joe. He showed it to me and I was like, mine. I was like, and that's really how it happened. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I just saw it and knew that I needed to have this deck because it was exactly what I do. And when I first read through the cards, the first card that came up was the fountain, which I thought was really interesting that I sat and shuffled and I asked if this card deck was really meant for me because I do the fountain and the fountain came up and I was like, ooh, there it is. So that was my confirmation. So yours, Crystal, is I'm waiting for the cards to explain what is going on. I saw water. So that's the first part. Whether or not I'm going to get more, that I don't normally see visual. I usually get audio. So to have a visual was pretty unique because I actually saw the waterfall and I could see it pouring down the side. I was like, oh, that's gorgeous. So I want to find out where that waterfall is. I'm going to go on a hunt. We'll go and meet up.
Yes.
So the Five of Cups. Card. And it says, in the midst of dark clouds and an emotional storm, a struggle rages over spilled cups. The loss is real and irreversible, and to move beyond it, he must feel the sorrow fully, candidly. He does not, he will lose himself in wallow. In the Five of Cups, the tug towards disillusionment is strong, but being thoughtful and gentle in this moment will put the past in the past where it belongs. The cups will fill again and the storm will pass. Feel the pain and keep one foot on solid ground. Significant, but only partial loss, despair, regret, flaws, or imperfections, a possible end to a relationship. So that is where we're starting. So you must have come through something at some point, like a hard loss or some pain of a loss of a loved one or something, which may be why you would need to go to the fountain for cleansing, The waters are cleansing. That's what the waters represent.
Hey, Darla, can you flash the card again? My screen froze when you were showing it, so I have no clue what the card looked like. Oh, that's cool. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So I'm going to go to the Archangel Power Tarot cards to find out where we're going, because that's your past. That's what you're coming up out of, something that's happened. There's some form of loss, some kind of, it may have been a loss of job. It could have been loss of a loved one. It could have been, loss is loss. It doesn't matter what it is. You could have lost your pen and it might have meant the world to you. Loss is loss. It doesn't matter what type of loss it is. So, but that's caused some cloudiness in your world. One, two, three, four, five. Which one do you choose? Seven of Ariel. You have invested wisely. Have patience and wait for the harvest. Review your progress and make plans for your next endeavor. You have an open door. Whatever you've been clearing, whatever's been going on is now passing. The storm is passing. So now you have a clearance and that you've invested in yourself wisely. So maybe some healing, some downtime from the loss or the pain. Seven of Ariel says, your seeds are well planted. However, some plans do take time to develop. Now is not the moment to stop, as success is very probable. You may not see it clearly, but slow and steady progress is being made. Have patience, it's almost time. This is a good opportunity to pause and review how far you've come. If not, what changes might you make in the future? If you're not at the end of a project, if you're at the end of the project, don't linger too long finishing it up. The next success awaits your attention. A temporary pause, a welcome break in the action, pondering future strategies, determination. So I want to I'm actually torn between two cards. And this is your read, not mine. Which are you drawn to, Crystal?
So when you're speaking like, I'm going to go with the rose. And the reason why I'm going to go with the rose is because when you're speaking light language in the beginning, I saw a rose. So
What was that?
I said when you were speaking light language in the beginning, I saw a rose. So I'm going to go with the rose.
The Rose Oracle. I'm going to read this real quick. The Rose Oracle Attunement. Mother Rose, you who were present long before we, and you who will continue after we're gone, bless this oracle and all who use it. May it be a gateway for all to return to ourselves, the earth, and each other. May our connection with the voice of our soul be made strong with every use. May all who touch it feel cherished, held, loved, softened, and seen. May it deliver insight, understanding, compassion, and guidance. That's in the highest interest of all beings, past, present, and future. When I'm holding space for another, help me to step out of the way and invite others to connect with the wisdom that exists deep within them. Guide me and all who use it to embrace our ever-changing true nature and the season of our lives with compassion, understanding, and grace. Show us how we can plant ourselves here more deeply than ever before. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the Rose Oracle. That is the sun. Joy, enjoyment, life source, success, vitality, and play. Says, in summer, when the sun's at its highest path in the sky, the rose is at its fullest. Her fragrance is sweet and the fruit is still to come. In this oracle, the sun represents life force, energy, vitality, confidence, success, positivity, delight, and the sheer joy of life. After it's left the fertile darkness of the soil, the future rose begins reaching towards the light of the sun, which then plays its part in nourishing the rose as it reaches for its potential bloom. And it does this for us too. One of life's greatest blessings is to feel the warmth of the sun on our face, to drink in the gold nectar of what life has for us, and to take a moment in basking in being alive. This is your invitation to relish your aliveness, to embrace your joyfulness, to enjoy the simple things in life, to make time to play, to be grateful for your body, to acknowledge the wondrous life force energy that's woven through all of life, to remember that your soul had a dream and your life is it. This is a wondrous card that heralds a time of playfulness, enjoyment, and bliss. The sun can also represent the inner child and be an invitation to have some fun. Have you been all work and no play lately? Is your inner child longing to run free? What can you do to enjoy the simple things in life? When we allow ourselves the space to play, problems that were once unsolvable find solution. Soul inquiry. How can you enjoy your life more? What can you do just for fun? So, coming up out of that dark, maybe the dark shadow, the dark soul of the night, where you go through the hardships, and coming into you're now doing the things that you're really enjoying. So it really looks like you've come through something really harsh and that it has really broke you down, but you had to really rebuild yourself. I want you to take a moment right now, and I want you to imagine you as your little girl. Any of those painful points when you were growing up, I want you to see her. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to say nothing about what's going on, but do you see her? Can you see that wounded little girl? Can you do me a favor and just go over, pick her up, and hug her, and tell her in your mind what you need to tell her about that situation, about that circumstance. Let her know that she's truly loved. And then accept her and bring her back into your heart. She doesn't need to be separate from you. She needs to be with you. So that you can learn to play again and have a good time. When you're ready, I want you to just bring your hands up to your heart center. And bring it and touch your heart with your hands. And say, I accept you and love you. And right now, I want you to ask yourself in your inner child, what is the one thing you want to do the most? Doesn't matter how silly it might be. Mine actually told me we had to have gummy bears for dinner. We have to honor our inner child, no matter what our inner child is speaking. So what does your inner child want today? And how can you make that dream a reality? And give yourself the joy again. So, Laura, you're up next.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Yep. I'm just the vessel.
That was some good messages.
Like that was not me. That was just divinely guided. Inner healings are wonderful. Miss Laura, let's see where the guides take us for you. You said, what do I need to focus on? So I'm going to go ahead and bring back in the light language and just clear the room, just the energy from everything. Yana shiane, yashana, oh shiane, yashiane. Angels, guides, source, universe. I need your assistance. I need you to deliver to Laura what is rightfully for her at this particular moment. What is she called to do? Where is she supposed to go? Where is her focus right now? I'm hearing that you struggle with accepting your intuition. That you believe it, you know, but you hesitate. That there's a hesitation. That's what I'm hearing, is a hesitation. Your guides are saying, trust yourself. Because they're giving you an infilling right now. They're speaking to you very loudly, and they're asking you to just pay attention. When you see the reoccurring numbers all day long, think about what you're thinking about. Focus in. That's where your focus is. What you're thinking about during that time when you turn and you see the numbers and or driving down the road and you see it on the license plate or in the billboards when it's got the recurring numbers or whatever. Every time you see that, I want you to focus in, is what they're telling me. Focus in on what you are thinking the moment you see those numbers. That is your guides telling you to pay attention to your thoughts. If you're not thinking something positive at the moment, what is the opposite of what is going on in your mind? What would you like instead? So if it's in a place that's dragging you down, what do you need instead? If it's not, and it's totally alive and it's feeling good, you need to run with that. That's what the guides are saying. Go with that feeling and know that you will be led, you will be carried, you're going to be supported, and it's going to be a great outcome. Trust in the process. They're right there with you. Archangels. Your card.
Gabriel.
Ace of Gabriel. Gabriel says, a gift of passion, opportunity, and inspiration, the chance to do something amazing, a sense of wonder. So focus on the wondrous things in your life right now. Look to those things that are making you feel full. Even if it doesn't cost or if it's not paying yet, those things are not relevant to source. What's relevant is that you're doing it from the power of passion. Passion will literally give you everything if you stay with it. So the Ace of Gabriel, the card says, I really want you to look at this card because it's a gorgeous card.
It is. The gold actually resonates with me from today. And then
Okay.
you see where she has her gown, or whatever on, and then there's that strip of light kind of or whatever going down. That actually resonates with me from today.
Okay. If you look, so she's holding a golden wand.
Mm-hmm.
And I know
Yeah,
that you've
I see
added
that.
gold to wands. Being the fact
Mhm.
that I know that, I was like, oh, that's definitely her card. So a wonderful gift is coming your way. It promises passion, opportunity, and inspiration. This is a time of action when you're called to take up whatever activity motivates you the most and make great changes in your life. Don't hesitate to move forward. It isn't necessary to know every single detail of what comes next in order to spring into action. You may be offered a new job or promotion, or you could start your own business, accept new adventures, opportunity with open arms. Additional meanings is a sense of wonder, news of pregnancy or a birth, fresh ideas. So that, with fertility, with pregnancy, it could just be an idea that you've been percolating in and holding on to for a while. And it may be something that's on its edge of actually developing or growing into. You may be willing to actually step into it now. So
I look at it kind of like a rebirth,
yes.
Of me, of a
Okay.
part of me. That's how I interpret that for me.
Okay. That
So,
definitely makes sense because that's a pregnant, coming to life.
mhm. Yep.
So having a new point in life where you're coming into that's an amazing.
That's a pretty awesome reading. It really does resonate with me, just so you know.
Good.
A lot of my experience today when I was met up with my friend who did the download for the Vaja. So that's where I'm drawing those colors from, and things like that, and everything that you were saying. And then during that experience for me, at that time. I mean, I felt it in more places, but the heart was almost exploding to me. During your light language, my heart is exploding. All right. So it so resonates with me. I mean, I'm very grateful for your gifts. You're amazing.
Cosmic Ruby.
Ruby, my favorite stone.
And I honestly, anybody else listening, I did not know that, guys. Did not know that. This is just a random card. It says, Cosmic Ruby. Be a peace ambassador. Practice cosmic mastery. This is a card of peace and wisdom. So your unicorn is inviting you to be a peace ambassador. Archangel Uriel is in charge of the development. So the solar plexus chakra, he's in the charge of the development of the solar plexus chakra. His powerful cosmic rubies radiate red for action, gold for wisdom, and the beautiful blue of peace and higher communication. When these gems are lit up by unicorn energy, they bring forward your self-worth and confidence so that you can take action with love and common sense. Your guidance today is to ask for Cosmic Ruby to be placed in your solar plexus. As you sense its light being absorbed by your systems, know that a new improved version of yourself is stepping forward. Your guidance then is to practice being wise and calm. Your unicorn will be with you as you communicate sincerely and diplomatically with everyone. Look for peaceful solutions to all the challenges that are presented to you and trust you will be guided to find a good way forward. Ask your unicorn to place a cosmic ruby illuminated with its energy over parts of the world where people cannot express their truth or where there is conflict. Send it to learning establishments where students need confidence. Visualize it over individuals and groups who need enlightened thinking to bring about peace. Your unicorn is reminding you that a cosmic ruby accelerates your spiritual journey to intergalactic mastery. If this path resonates with you, visualize the gem around your energy fields. Know that your unicorn is lighting the way for you. Work with a cosmic ruby. Sense Archangel Uriel holding a huge glowing deep red ruby. Your unicorn is filling it with pure white unicorn love. Archangel Uriel places it in your solar plexus. Sense your confidence, self-worth, and inner peace growing. The cosmic ruby is expanding until it surrounds you. Sense peace and wisdom. Send peace and wisdom to people and places everywhere. Your affirmation, I seek peaceful solutions. And a conversation we had today confirms that affirmation.
Yes, it does.
It does. Like, this is definitely a divine reading.
Awesome. Thank you.
I
Thank
know
you.
it is 8:01, and I know you two have something else that you guys do. If you need to go, you can. I do need to finish up and take care of Joe's reading still as well. So I understand if anybody has to go. If not, please stay aboard. It's only going to be a few more minutes. I'm not going to do the fountain today, but I am available. If anybody watches this, just reach out to me and we can schedule a fountain healing if it's necessary for you in your life. So Joe, are you there? Are you ready?
Yeah.
You have come to me and want me to be the conduit to deliver a message of what do I need to know, correct?
Mhm.
So I'm going to get out of the way and let whichever source decides to come and deliver your message to you. Yes, yada yada na shana na na ra shana yada hara shana na ya shana na na ra shana yada ra shana. Oof. Ooh. Marvel is requesting your time soon. He needs to take you somewhere. Ooh. There's a heavy message getting ready to come in for you, Joe. I feel very, very cumbersome. Is that the right word? Feels very cumbersome. That's what I'm getting. I'm going to lean on the archangels for guidance, for direction, for wisdom, and understanding. One or two. One or two. Queen of Raphael, kind, understanding, giving, psychic. Follow your heart. A love of home and family. Trustworthy psychic information. So, the card, Queen of Raphael. Says, the Queen of Raphael situation. Your heart is your greatest strength. Expect relationships with others to develop to a new level. Someone is in the perfect position to help another person understand his or her own feelings. An immense love of home and family is also in evidence. Any psychic or intuitive information that arises is completely reliable. Someone who is wise and kind, a loving and nurturing person with the ability to solve problems before they occur. Psychic, spiritual, understanding, giving. An additional meaning of this card, a psychologist, a champion of the underdog, giving too much, unconditional love, the need for self-care. I have what feels like a crown being pushed onto my head right now. I don't know what that means yet. I'm waiting for clarity.
I'm wearing it too, and it's putting pressure on the third eye.
So the psychic knowledge.
Mhm.
So apparently there's
it's very
something coming through and it's not fully clear. Are you struggling with coming into your fullness of your energy, coming into the understanding of what is being delivered to you? It's not me. This is something that's going on with you.
Mhm.
Do you find that you get messages, but you don't know how to actually deliver them?
Sometimes.
Trust,
Sometimes it's
trust
just struggling with clarity too. Sometimes I'm not sure what is coming through, like it's not, it's like, old 80s television where you're trying to watch the cartoon through the fuzzy lines, like you're barely seeing enough of the picture to really grasp what the message is.
Okay, so in other words, right now what's happening is this is bringing it into an understanding so that I can give direction. Be with yourself. Take the moments when the information starts coming in. Take yourself to a quiet space. Step away if you need to. Listen at the same time as seeing. Watch for other helpful aids that are coming along the way. Dive into trusting the words that are going to flow out. Don't worry about putting the information in, just speak it. It will flow from you. You don't have to worry about it. You don't need to put so much thought into it. It just is going to be. You are not the one. You can raise your hands like me and go, don't shoot the messenger, here it is. Because we're really just the conduit. It's okay to get out of the rational thoughts and the logical thinking and allow it to be colorful. It doesn't have to be so black and white. The world is a colorful place. So speak from the color, not from the fact or logic. Logic
Right.
will stumble you through your channeling.
Right. Yeah, you got to get out of the head. Don't let the thoughts come in. Let the message just channel through without questioning. Yeah, I keep telling myself that, but don't always do it.
But the violet flame. Invoke the cosmic diamond violet flame. Transmute all that is not love. This card, your unicorn, or the unicorns, whether or not you have one or not, I don't know. I know that you have a dragon, and Marvel jumped in there and said, you are going on an adventure. You gotta take off with your dragon soon. I don't know where you're going, but have a good time. You may not sleep tonight.
Another day in paradise.
His dragon likes to drag him off in the middle of the night to adventures. And he'll wake up going, I don't think I slept. I think I was in another dimension. It's beautiful though. It's
But
really
I got a
beautiful.
sweet ass wand I can take with me now.
Yes.
So yours, Violet Flame, where are you? Where are you? There you are. Okay. Turn back. Might help if I'm looking in the right book. That was the problem. Operator error.
You get all lightheaded and fuzzy when you're channeling, you forget where you're supposed to be.
That's the truth.
I understand.
Invoke the cosmic diamond violet flame. Transmute all that is not love. Saint Germain and Archangel Zadkiel oversees the violet flame of transmutation. It has the power to consume stuck energies so that the higher ones can replace them, and we can all move forward. When humanity starts to rise its frequency, the violet flame merges with the silver flame of grace in harmony, and then the gold ray to become the gold and the silver violet flame. This brings transmutation with grace and wisdom. Recently, archangels Gabriel and Zadkiel
Zakiel is right.
combined their energies to create the ninth dimensional cosmic diamond violet flame. This is a powerful ascension tool. Your unicorn is guiding you to first to invoke the violet flame to wash away any dense energies in and around you, including old cosmic energies or contracts that no longer serve you. Ask it to transmute everything right down to a cellular level that is not vibrating with love. When you have done so, send it under grace to others, to situations, and to places to release the old. Visualize it coming down through trees and spreading through their roots to transmute stuck energy in the earth. Then call for a shimmering cosmic diamond violet flame to be placed over you. Ask your unicorns to add its light, and it will raise you, purified and shining, to a much higher ascension frequency. The violet flame. Call your unicorn. See it placing a ball of protective white light around you. Feel the violet flame filling you and transmuting all lower energies. Send it under grace to anyone or anywhere that needs it. Now sense the cosmic diamond violet flame being placed over you. Your unicorn illuminates it. It purifies your 12 chakras and accelerates your enlightenment. You become a shimmering diamond light. Spread the light around the world. Affirmation: I stand in the cosmic diamond violet flame. And I know that we're way over. We're at 8:15, so I'm going to go ahead
Okay,
and
thank you.
end. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you, and
We love you.
Yes, thank you. Love you. Yes.
Love you, love you.
I love you guys. Blessings,
I
love,
feel
and
like
light.
I feel like Joe's got support. It might be his angels and guides, but he's gonna have the support he needs. I just saw things flowing out and around him.
Awesome.
So that's what I was visualizing. So love you guys. Thank you.
We'll be in your guys' call here in a few.
Okay. Bye
Go
bye.
ahead.
Bye.
You'll have to end the thing.